Mr. Ambassador, should we use our Navy or other NATO navies to escort grain carriers out of Ukraine?
Yeah, I think there's two things we should do. The first one is what we and other NATO countries should do is insist on freedom of navigation in the Black Sea. Russia is unilaterally blocking freedom of navigation. This is a principle the U.S. has stood for 240 years, and we should be insisting on that. The second thing is that last stretch of Ukrainian waters, which was rightfully pointed out just now. The Ukrainians have mined because they're afraid of Russian attacks. This could be an international group of countries who all have a shared global interest in getting Ukraine's food supplies out. Could include Egypt, could include countries in the Middle East, could include countries that are not members of NATO, but where there's a shared interest. But we should be facilitating that. A third thing that's on the table is rail shipments, but they can't handle the volume that is needed, and the seaport really has to be open.
Mr. Ambassador, it seems to me, just taking a big picture look at this thing, it's dropped out of the news headlines. Seems to me that Russia is winning. Do you see it that way?
Well, I don't see them winning because at the end of the day, Ukraine survives as a sovereign, independent European democracy no matter what. No one is taking over all of Ukraine. No one is taking Kyiv. No one is toppling the government. But where the dividing line is, what Russia takes and then sits on as to what Ukraine is able to take back, that's what's on the table right now. And Russia is making incremental gains in eastern Ukraine. The Ukrainians are fighting back dramatically and forcefully, and they need all of the help the U.S. can give them right now. That Lend-Lease package that President Biden signed a month ago, there's still a lot that has yet to be delivered, particularly the longer-range artillery. And that's what's necessary for the Ukrainians to hold the Russians off.
What do you make of Vladimir Putin comparing himself to Peter the Great?
Yes, it's stunning. It's stunning honesty. You know, many of us who've been following Russia for a long time have thought that this is exactly what he intends to do, to reassemble the Russian Empire on the ashes of the Soviet Empire. And for him to come out so brazenly and to say, yes, indeed, that's what I'm doing, it is revealing, and it is for anyone who had any doubts that this is about NATO or this is about the West, that should all be removed. It's clearly about Vladimir Putin's own personal ambitions to go down in history as the next builder of Russia's empire.
What an extraordinary situation, isn't it? And
it is.
It's dropped out of the news headlines. It's like it's no longer part of the news cycle. We've forgotten about it. It's a terrible thing.
It's a reflection on us because not much has changed over there, and the stakes are still as high.
Yeah. Mr. Ambassador, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for being with us, sir. See you again soon.
Thank you.